and passion was applied in the House of Representatives. Members of the House of Representatives are elected every 2 years, the most representative part of our legislative body. We had a great leader who never gave up, who always believed, who knew that we would be here this day because of the great support he received from all over Illinois over the spring and summer and now the fall. We've worked so hard organizing. That's what democracy is all about. And a great leader of democracy is Representative Greg Herrick.
Thank you, P-Flag moms. But, ladies and gentlemen, today we're here to celebrate family, commitment, equality, love, courage, and community. When our Constitution was written, those who wrote it understood that liberty and equality are not destinations, but they're journeys. And since that time, men and women have struggled to take step after step on that journey to ensure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity. And there are many famous people who led the way, and we've heard from a lot of them today, and we've applauded a lot of them today. But there are thousands of others across the state whose courage made today possible. And I just want to mention a few who symbolize the many thousands who made this bill come to be. There are religious leaders, including Pastor Otis Moss, the Reverend Dr. B. Herbert Martin, and Reverend Paul Jakes. There is Romeoville's Reverend Suzanne Anderson Hurdle, Reverend Richard Tolliver, and hundreds of other church leaders who stood for faith and social justice. Brady, the former chairman of the Illinois Republican Party, who stood up for marriage because marriage is a family value. There are these families who had courage to publicly share their lives to make today possible. Families like Jim Darby and Patrick Bova, Bernita Gray and Pat Ewart, Ross Smith and his late partner Stephen Rhines. Families like the Litchfield, John and his mom Valerie, and the church ladies from Flossmoor, Chicago Heights, and Homewood who went out and organized all over the southwest suburbs. Families like Randall Krause Vincent, his husband James, and their friends that organized all across Kankakee County. We should celebrate cities like Decatur, where their campaign to change every porch light green for equality lit up the night. And cities like, I think we got Decatur here. And cities like Rockford, where church and community leaders organized a march through their downtown to support equality. We need to thank community groups, trade unions, business leaders, faith leaders, and activists who stood together as Illinois Unites for Marriage. We should celebrate the thousands who braved the cold and wet to march on Springfield, including 4 really amazing young men who came down on a church bus, and I met them that day. They were cold and shivering in their shirt sleeves. But they came with me to the House floor and they lobbied like true pros. And I think they're here today. They're waving. So let me just say, you can stand up, guys. And of course, in the land of Lincoln, we always have to remember the words of Abraham Lincoln, especially since we have, Abraham Lincoln's desk with us today. So I know the governor will have plenty of Abe Lincoln quotes. So I just wanted to get one in first. It just talks a little bit, I hope I'm not stealing yours, Governor Clinton, about the dedication it took to pass this bill by everyone here. It says, sometimes we walk slowly, but we never walk back. If you recall the movie Lincoln, there were also lobbyists. They were referred to in that movie as the skulky men. This effort had its lobbying team also, but they were hardly skulky because they were so proud of the work that they did, and we need to know their names too, and I see them here in the audience. Dave Horwich, Mike Casper, Matt O'Shea, Mary Dixon, Kadeen Bennett, Dave Ring, Dave Sullivan, Coy Hughes, Dave Lopez, Kit Saviano, Ramon Gartenhire, William McNary, Linda Delafleur, Courtney Nottage, Dave Lewitzky, Randy Hammond, Jim Bennett, Anthony Martinez, Rick Garcia, Doug Colhat, and of course the relentless Shada Crummer. Ladies and gentlemen, this was a labor of love and it was a mammoth undertaking. We need to extend our support to those who helped make it possible. You know, there's a man who has supported so many progressive causes and continues to do so, Fred Eigner, who stood tall and never wavered in this. Thank you, Fred. I also want to thank the co-chairs of Illinois Unites for Marriage, Laura Ricketts, and I think I see Ray Koenig sitting there in the back of the room. And finally, in the love category, I want to express my love to my colleague and friend Naomi Jacobson and her family for the sacrifice they made to make today possible. And also to my friend, Representative Kelly Cassidy, who couldn't be here to join us today and share this because of the death of her mother. Naomi, Kelly, today is for you, your families, and all the loving families of our state.